our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk Today.
What's on your mind, Cayman? If you're ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Discussing current events and local news, community spotlights, hot topics, listener stories, cultural and historical discussions, environmental issues, fun and lighthearted topics, guest interviews. Cayman, basically anything you want to talk about, we are ready to listen. Here's your guest host,
Charles Glidden.
Good afternoon and welcome to Talk Today. I'm Charles Glidden, your lunchtime buddy. Yep. Thanks for linking up with me. I'm still in the control room here. Me and Paul hanging out in the control room. Yes. So because I'm still here in the control room, if you usually, connect with Talk Today through YouTube or Facebook, well, still no video feed, just the audio. So, that's all you're going to get from us right now online, just the audio, but you won't miss anything if you're getting the audio. Even in video, audio is... Audio is like, 75%, because if you can't hear what's going on, you get lost real quick. All right. Yes, it's Wednesday, that midweek point, and it's shaping up to be a nice January day. Of course, we're all still trying to look over the hill to see the weekend, right, on the horizon there. And it looks like we're in for a change of weather. A nor'wester is coming in Friday morning. If you have a boat in the water on this side, you might want to see what's happening and take care of that. Rough seas and strong winds are forecast. A little something to break up the routine, bring a little excitement to the waterfront. So what's happening with you guys? 2026 treating you good so far? What would you like to chat about today? What's bugging you? Anything good? Anything encouraging to chat about? We can't complain all the time, right? Got to be something good. Yeah. Well, the numbers to call, of course, is 1-800-534-8255. That is toll-free, courtesy of Flow. Or you can call at 949-8037, 949-6990, or WhatsApp, send us a message, or a voice note, give us a call on 925-3261. And yesterday, Paul was telling me that he's seen prices increased already since the first of the year. like at fast food places. And of course, that comes along with the increased minimum wage. And I would think that places like fast food restaurants is where we're going to see those increases first, because, I mean, that's most of them would pay minimum wage, close to it. So the new minimum wage, $8.75. I'm sure there are other types of businesses that pay the minimum wage also, and just how much the new minimum is going to affect the cost of living generally, into the wider cost of living. Well, we'll see how that goes, because a lot of factors besides salaries affect the cost of goods and services. We do have someone on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. And yourself?
Good. Just have a quick comment about the cost of living as you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
This is primarily meant to help, of course, those at the bottom of the barrel, so to speak.
Yeah.
Minimum wage earners in the past. But the thing I'm concerned about back then and continuing now, many of these people are not allowed to accept tips. Many of the bigger restaurants, especially other offices as well, other retail and tourism service businesses, the staff are not allowed to accept tips.
You mean at a hotel?
Of course, not hotels, but not hotels. They get gratuity and they get tips.
Yeah.
But many retail places, I've been told, some have offered tips.
Uh-huh.
Even
like you're so impressed with their service, you decide to give them a little something. Is that what you mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. If you get good service, some of it has been non-tourism businesses.
You're right.
But if you get good service, you feel you give somebody a few dollars tip,
Yeah.
And I've been told from before this year, we're not allowed to take tips.
Mm.
And that's strange for me, especially for frontline people, obviously not earning top dollar, If someone feels like giving them a tip, there shouldn't be. I don't see where there should be anything wrong with that.
That's that's an interesting thing. Is I don't know why, an employer would, especially if it's something doing with service. That
right.
this person has served you so well, you were impressed, and you want to show your appreciation.
Right. And I've confirmed it on several occasions with other people in the office or in the business. I said, no, we're not allowed to take tips.
Okay.
That's unfortunate, because the price is going to go up for them, the same as everyone else. The price of goods is going to go up for them.
Mm-hmm.
So they're still going to be behind the 8 ball, so to speak.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's really nobody speaking up for the employees, especially at that level. So I guess the game will continue.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. I don't know whether that is the only thing I could even think of having that kind of rule. I mean, I can see it maybe in an office or something where, it's like, well, you're just supposed to give the service. You don't want it to become a thing that,
right.
that people have to tip to get the good service. You just say, we give good service. It's that they don't want any kind of money being changed, like you're doing something, under the table kind of thing.
Exactly. But that's, if you want to do that under the table, you're going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
And you're not going to do it in the middle of the cash register with the cameras on you.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I noticed from years ago is the retail staff, the ladies especially, are on their feet all day. I've spoken to them in the past. I can see them obviously in pain. Not funny, but it affects, their backs, their legs, their whole body. And I don't see, especially if it's not busy, why the staff, especially the retail ladies on the floor, can't take a break, can't sit down. Even cashiers sometimes.
Yeah.
I've been told, no, we can't sit down. I'm like, okay.
You know, now that you mentioned that, right? I thought I came across something in the labor laws where an employee has to be able to get the opportunity to sit at least every so often. You know, that they're not on their feet for like 8 hours a day.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe, I mean, I can't swear to it, but it somewhere in the back of my mind, I think I came across that. But yeah, I mean,
Well, that would be good. But I've been told by them, some that I know, some that I speak to at their workplaces, you know, those complaints, their legs, their back, they can't sit down, their feet are killing them, you know.
yeah.
Not funny, but it's
No,
it's
if you
something
stand
that
long
maybe
hours, you know, it can affect your body. You know,
Yep,
I mean, I
and
guess
maybe
security
something that-
guys have to do that a lot. You know, that they're standing.
right.
I don't know if that is like, well, that comes with the territory. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, health is another thing. I mean, no amount of money, even a minimum wage, can't replace your health.
Yeah.
So even if the staff is taken care of, well, not to mention the insurance, that's a whole other debate.
There's a whole show.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
maybe it's something that the Department of Labor needs to look into. Not the rights necessarily, but the conditions, the working conditions, you know, including gratuities, as I mentioned.
Yeah, and I mean, face it, it's not every employer that is ethical and, you know, is going to obey, you know, the spirit or the letter of the labor law.
Right.
It's not everybody's going to do that. So.
And even from November, December, I've had people in the minimum wage industries, different occupations, tell me that their employers have already reduced their hours.
Because of the raise in pay.
Exactly. So they're getting a few more dollars per hour, but the hours are cut back.
And we're not talking about cutting back overtime here. We're talking about cutting back regular hours.
And of course, we know a work week has an allocated legal number of hours, minimum number of hours. But I don't know how well that is policed, you know, to ensure everyone is getting paid their full-time wage if it's a full-time employee.
And unfortunately, people working at that level, they will often accept going overtime but getting paid regular time.
Or nothing sometimes.
Yeah. Or, you know, just to be able to just get some more money. That they'll work the 50 hours at regular rate just to get a few more dollars.
Yep. Well, we're all in it together, whether or not we're at the top or the bottom. So, you know, if you squeeze the bottom, something gonna give.
Yeah.
So I think we got to be careful. It's good the minimum wage is well overdue. It's too low, I think. But we have to watch out for the whole picture.
Indeed. All right.
Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah, man. Anytime, call. Appreciate the input.
Thank you.
We got to take a little break here, but I think we have a caller that just hang in there. Be right back with you.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Kim and Brack and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
I'm so glad I'm a part of the family of God.
Pastor Garrett and Pastor Joseph, and the congregations of the Church of God at West Bay and Breakers invites the public to a series of meetings on marriage and family from January 18th through the 24th at the Church of God at West Bay, located on 108 Captain Regional Parsons Drive in West Bay. The services will kick off with an all-day meeting starting at 11 a.m. and nightly services will be held at 7:30 p.m. and the culmination will be on Saturday, the 24th, with a marriage seminar starting at 9:30 a.m. All are welcome to this special week of services focusing on God's design for families. For more information, you may call 916-6367 or check out their Facebook page.
We all share the tears.
If you're riding an e-bike or scooter, the rules of the road apply. These devices are treated the same as motor vehicles. You must be at least 17 years old, hold a valid Category 0 or Category 2 driver's license, and your device must be registered, licensed, and insured. You must obey traffic signals, road signs, and road markings, and operate only where permitted by law. These are existing legal requirements. Enforcement begins 16 January.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and we do have some callers on the line. Let's go straight to the phones. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today. Hello?
Yes, Mr. Jallo.
Yeah. How's it going?
Oh, my phone just cut off, man. I didn't know I was still on there.
I'm hearing you. You're on.
Okay, that's good. Well, I said, man, it's so good to hear the name Northwester again. I didn't know that we still had that name around the place.
What do they call it now?
I am cold fronts and all kind of thing, man.
Yeah, well.
It's so long I never heard that name, though, Northwester, you know?
Yeah. A Northwester?
Yeah, that's the name that we grew up with. Not true?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
There used to be some really bad ones, too. I don't know. They don't seem to be kicking as hard as what they used to.
All 14, 15 days before they leave us alone, man. That time, man. Well, cold. It was cold them times in January. Sometimes I believe that kind of weather used to stay with us till all April in the new year.
Constantly?
I believe so, man.
Oh, man. Had a break, man.
Yeah, Chalo, talk about the tips and things like that. Boy, I tell you, every day that I go to the store, I really look at it. I really look at those people, those cashiers and things like that. But everybody inside the supermarkets and feel for them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because even though it never happened to me in life that I had to work on that permit, right? But I imagine it's not a good feeling. But I know, not really imagine, I know. I see what them security guards go through and the people that working in Cayman on the permits and things. Whatever, you don't call no shots.
Mm-hmm.
Your supervisors and managers is who call shots, and you got to do what they say or else. You understand?
Yeah.
But when it comes to tips, Chalo, you gotta know how to make tips, man. You understand? I worked for Price like one time, I think it was like a year and 4 months or something like that, because my feet really couldn't take, I was doing the carts, my feet really couldn't handle the walking. They had got so tender over the years and things like that.
Uh-huh.
So foot specialist told me, you're not got no choice here now. If you continue, you're going to get in some big problem with your feet and things like that. So I had to give up the job. But the experience that I carried there, I had 20 years in hospitality, hotels and bartenders and, and I carry 20 years of experience there with me, so I know I would be all right when it comes to helping the people. You know, that's all Woody Foster, my good friend, always said to me. That's all he said. Just be helpful, you know. But he really didn't know that I had that kind of experience in working in hospitality. You got to know, first of all, you got to have good manners. You got to have a good face, and you got to have a good personality, man.
Good attitude.
Yes, to make tips. Let me tell you, Chalo, I made sure, you know, take care of the woman, you know, because I know the woman will take care of me.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how I worked that 14 that year and 4 months there, my boy. I took care of the woman because I know they're going to take care of me. You understand? And I'm not making much per day, but I want to try and make $100 a day. So I have to be nice. You understand? I never forget one Saturday night, Jalo, a woman from Trinidad, and, you know, be packing up now, the place is closed and things like that, and I want to come off on my feet. So she never had much in the cart, but I helped her, put it inside her car and things like that. And she gave me a $50 tip, Jalo.
Whoa.
I didn't know it was $50 until I got into the bar room and I looked at it and things. So I would imagine she's making some good money in Cayman Islands. But then she said to me, it pays. It pays to be helpful sometimes. Yeah, man. So you really got to know how to make the tips, man. You got to be nice. Yeah,
it's about service.
Yeah. You got to give service, man. And let me tell you, even the cashiers, I notice it all the time, man. You know, sometimes I might give a couple of dollars too, because I really feel kind of sorry for them on their feet all day, can't sit down. Yeah, and they're not making nothing much. You understand? So sometimes I have a little Cayman heart, same time. and me, if I have it, I share with them. You understand?
Good for you.
But sometimes I also look at the ugly faces that I'm, you know, as a customer that I'm facing early in the morning or whenever I go there and things like that. And faces are wrecked and look like whatever went on last night, you're bringing it on the job and all them kind of things like that. All them kind of things turn off customers from giving you anything, you know, boss. You understand?
Oh, yeah. Because it's that personality, that vibe that you're giving off.
And, hey, another
like
smile.
The person is the customer is bothering you.
Another smile on their face. I mean, this is so different from what I've seen in Canada and America, you know. Cashiers and things always would, you know, they always pass a little joke to you, the customer.
It has a lot to do with training also, how people are trained.
Yeah, man, this is what I'm saying, my boy. This is what I'm saying. You know, yeah, you got to know, and even giving back change to the customer, you know. If you can avoid giving back bills, just change it up and give it, you know. If they got in their mind to give you anything, make sure you give them change back if you have it in your till, because then it mightn't be so hard for them to offer you a couple of dollars. You understand? But when you're giving them back tens and things like that, well, even fives is okay, coming off a $25 bill or a $50 bill. Make sure you give back some change. You know, all this is psychology. You've got to know how to make tips. You understand? Because enough time I share that with the cashiers and say, you know, when you're giving me back change, if you got single dollars and things like that, if I make up my mind to give you something, I'll have change to do it.
And they accept it.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about the other callers saying that some places that, you know, they say they're not allowed to take the tips.
Yeah, I run into that too. And it makes me feel kind of bad, when I want to give somebody something and can't take it. Yeah, I run into that as well.
But thank you so much for the call.
I tell you what, though, Charlo, quick, I share this with you. Somehow, maybe it's a good thing, because people get jealous in these stores and things. I tell you, I've been noticing that woman get jealous and the next one gets something, and then, that can bring problems and things like that with staff. So that's their thing. I can't do nothing about it. So later, my boss.
All right. You take care. Have a good afternoon.
Yeah, man. Cool.
Let's take another call here. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk today.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hi. How are you today?
Not too bad, and you?
I'm doing okay. Trying to reach Friday.
The caller was on just a second ago. A lot of things he has said, it is so true. It is so true. I just got a few words from the caller before him, was mentioning about tips, and that's what made me call too. But I was wanting to ask you, what were you all discussing in regards to tips, and was it gratuity name added? I don't know. Just I heard the word tip. The caller before this one.
Yeah, well, I think he was talking about you actually handing someone a tip in cash rather than it being added onto your bill.
Yeah. Well, this is the same thing that I'm talking about when it comes to the gratuity, because apparently there's no law for gratuity, but some places has it on their menu board and some don't. You understand?
You mean the amount that they're charging you, the amount of gratuity?
The amount of gratuity that are charging you.
Yeah.
And you're not compelled. You're not compelled to pay that gratuity. You're not compelled. And some time ago, I heard some ladies on the radio talking in regards about it and so forth, but I didn't really follow up on it too much, because then if you're not in law and on black and white, I'm not going to abide by it. You understand?
I know some restaurants will have it in their menu. That
some restaurants have it on the menu.
It's like they're giving you notice.
Have it.
They're giving you notice that it's going to be charged, and I guess if you go ahead and order, you've kind of accepted that. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Well,
no, you don't accept it.
But hold on now. If you open a menu and you see the fish is, $10, meat is this and that, and then down at the bottom they say, a 15% gratuity will be charged to the bill, right? They've said, here's the deal. The fish is $15, but if you order it, there's going to be 15% of that added to the bill. They've given you notice.
So where is that written on the menu?
I'm saying that you will go to some places and they'll have, that a gratuity will be charged.
I really don't really believe that. And if I go to a restaurant and the menu says 15% gratuity added, and I decide to order something, that doesn't necessarily mean that they are compelled to charge me 50% gratuity. I can say when my bill comes, I'm sorry, can you please take this gratuity off? I will tip my waiter or waitress according to how I was treated at my table.
Well, I don't know what the hard and fast rule is, but I mean, they've given you notice that we're selling this plus the 15%.
Yeah, Glidden, they may have that 15% there, but it doesn't have nothing black and white telling me if I order that fish that I must pay 15%. No. I don't think there's any book in the world written like that.
Even if when you say black and white, it's written. If it's written out there,
the 15% gratuity is there, but it's not telling me that if I do order or if I ordered that I will 50%. No. That's not telling me that I must pay 15% gratuity if I don't want to. I want to tip my waiter or my waitress according to how they treated me. But now, when I go to restaurants of today, I will be looking on that menu board to see what other words are under that 15% or that 10% or 20%. Check that out because there's no law for it, and you're not compelled to pay that 50%. And then, like the guy say, you want to tip the people sometime, and some of them say they can't take it because they doesn't want to take any tip. And then again, some people takes it. And I think they were saying he said something in regards to even cutting people's hours on their job.
Mm-hmm.
How cruel can people get with their staff? That should not be allowed. These people got to survive too. But if their expectation wasn't so high, they would take care of their workers. But their expectation that got these businesses are more higher than me and you that's in there as a salesperson. They can go home and eat lobster and steak and count 3-4 nights a week. And what are we eating? Chicken is expensive. Chicken and ground beef were the cheapest thing on the menu. But no more, baby. No more. But Mr. Glidden, really and truly, the government, what the law that who brought it is 875, should put it in paper, black and white. You do not cut your
875? 875 isn't black and white. It's the law.
Yeah, it is black and white. As I said, in black and white, 875. It is up there.
Mm-hmm.
It's in law. 5 per hour. That does not mean that these people must cut these other people hours. That is not fair. Then you know what that brings? That brings stealing. That brings robbery. That brings animosity and everything you could think of. And a lot of cheating situation going on the streets to survive in this expensive island. Boy, I tell you, Mr. Glidden, this is going to be a tough 2026. You hear me? We need God.
So you don't think 2026 is going to be a good year?
Well, I'll tell you what, Mr. Glidden. I'll tell you what. No disrespect to you. I am putting 2026 in the hands of God. That's what I'm going to put it in. I'm not putting it in man. I am putting it in God's hand because God can turn things when He's ready. So I'm not going to say any more about 2026. I put in God's hand. I can leave it and let God do it. That's how I can look at 2026.
Okay.
Because all other years that gone by has been pretty rough and tough. And this thing about standing on your feet hours after hours on the job, 8 and 10 hours a day, let me tell you something. I experienced that 99.9% of my life. And what I got today is bad joints. What do I have from those companies? No pension, no insurance. You understand? So this thing about people working for 8 and 10 hours standing all day in a jewelry store or wherever they may be standing for such a long time, if they get a 15 minutes break, the time to sit down, they got to get right back up and go back on the floor again. And some of these jewelry stores don't have nothing for you to sit on. An example. I am a living example. One stool by the register, and I was being fight over. Hey, boy, I want to take a break to sit on it for 5 minutes, just to rest the legs, you know?
Oh, yeah, you stand on your legs for even, 3 hours, they start to hurt.
It's hard on the body. It's hard on the body. But, Mr. Glidden, up here, someone put a van on the bypass and put on it, free.
Gosh.
FREE. And it was already dismantled. And we got camera of the Newlands bypass.
Uh-huh.
And people went there within the last 4 to 5 days, was scrapping her left, right, and center. And you never heard of anyone being arrested or going there taking parts off of that car or whoever it belongs to. I don't care who that car was when they got there. What do you call it? A VIN number in the computer somewhere down in one of our lights in the apartment. If that person is still, and if he come back there or don't come back, and whoever got that car, the last individual, they should be caught sitting up on a highway. That the people of this island got the nerves and audacity to go strip her with this camera on the highway on Newlands Road, Hurst Road. Cameras, I'm quite sure, very visible. What are they thinking about in this island?
Yeah, I think it was yesterday or the day before a lady called and
yes, I know about that.
You heard that one down off of
that little road has become
this roundabout out here.
Highway.
Yeah, at the end there.
I've been crossing numbers of times and saw it there, and other cars. They got up a walk, and it shouldn't be.
Yeah,
This morning when I was coming back home, got guys up here picking up garbage off the side of the highway here. And believe me, some pretty full bags off our highway. And today is only the 14th day of January 2026. And the garbage that they're picking up today now since is unreal. I was on the back road there by come behind Jules. A truck coming, one huge piece of plastic fly off the truck, and there was about 3 cars behind that. I would say probably about 5 feet away from this plastic that blew it off of this truck. These guys are driving these open back trucks, and they don't care what fly off. When he got way down, I looked in my mirror. He pulled up on the side road and picked it up, and thank God, but up to where the plastic was. The plastic that went up against the side of the road, not to be in the road no more to damage these cars that was coming. I don't know what the penalty is for these people.
And they're supposed to cover that stuff up so it can't fly off.
Well, I tell you.
Listen, I have to take a break.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
Well, you have a good afternoon.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay Mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone, and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
The National Road Safety Committee is reminding the public that e-bikes, scooters, and similar transport devices are covered under Cayman's traffic law. This includes electric and pedal assist e-bikes, electric scooters, seated scooters, mopeds, segways, and other motorized personal transport devices. If a device is mechanically powered and used on a public road, it is treated as a motor vehicle under the law. Riders must be at least 17 years old, hold a valid Category 0 or Category 2 driver's license, and ensure the device is roadworthy, registered, licensed, and insured. Vehicle inspections are available at DVDL's Crew Road and Breakers locations. Enforcement of existing laws begins January 16. Details are available at dvdl.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. And got a WhatsApp message here talking about gratuity. I remember in the last caller we were saying whether you have to pay it or not. This person is saying you don't have to pay any gratuity that has been added to a bill. Even if they say they charge you 25% or 10% gratuity, you do not have to pay it if you do not want to, whether they have it listed or not. I went to a restaurant in Cayman Bay on December 31st. The service I got was terrible. When my bill came, I paid the amount for my food. They said I did not pay my full bill, and I told them I'm not paying for the gratuity that they added because the service I got was simply atrocious. They took the money for the food and left it at that. Well, that's a real live case there. Now, something I looked up here said, yeah, it is a part of your bill and also legally part of the staff's wages, and yeah, you must pay it. But I guess if you got a major complaint, you stand up to them like this person did. You know, they'll take the money for the food. But yes, it is part of, you know, the bill that, and legally that gratuity is going to be shared among the employees. So they see it as, you know, this is your bill. We told you, you know, there was going to be a gratuity, and they expect you to pay it. Let's see if we can get a call in here real quick before we go to the news. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Hi. I was in the restaurant business for many years here on island, and I'll tell you what, if somebody had a valid complaint, I would take that gratuity off immediately.
Okay.
In fact, for years in many of the restaurants that I was involved with, I fought very hard to not add an auto grat. You know, two problems prevail when you do that. It's, first of all, the server knows the more they sell you, the more the fraction of the bill is going to be. So it oftentimes will encourage servers to oversell. Sell you more food than you're going to be able to enjoy. That is not a good thing. It also, I mean, it's a perfect excuse to give mediocre service. I think gratuities need to be earned, and any conscientious restaurant manager should make it clear to their staff that if a guest complains about the gratuity and would like it taken off, I mean, it should disappear immediately. I completely agree with the sentiment of that last message sender.
Yeah, thank you for that information. I was reading about a restaurant owner in New York City, and he cut out the tips. He did not have his staff accept tips. He raised the cost of the food itself to make up for that gap, so he could pay his staff a better salary, and they didn't have to depend on those tips. And he told them, you know, we're taking the tips away. I'm increasing your salary. At this restaurant, we give good service. And, you know, his patrons accepted the increase and, you know, the good service. And, you know, people go in and they work for what their salary is, and people don't have to worry about, you know, any kind of extra fee as a gratuity. It is 1 o'clock, and that's news time.
If they are talking about us,
living in your head rent-free all this time,
we must be relevant. Radio Cayman since 1976. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
I'm April Cummings with your latest headlines. The Ministry of Tourism scholarship deadline is fast approaching. Caymanians wishing to earn a degree in tourism or a tourism-related discipline are invited to apply. The deadline is Saturday, the 31st of January. Visit ourcayman.ky for more information. In international headlines, officials from Greenland and Denmark met in Washington today with top White House officials as U.S. President Donald Trump moved to ratchet up the pressure by suggesting that NATO should help the U.S. acquire the world's largest island, and saying anything less than it being under American control is unacceptable. Spanish prosecutors tell the Associated Press they are studying allegations that Grammy-winning singer Julio Iglesias sexually assaulted two former employees at his residences in the Dominican Republic and the Bahamas in 2021. Iglesias has yet to speak publicly regarding the allegations. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
At HSA, we strive to provide the highest standard of care with compassion, integrity, and dedication. And so we say thank you, Cayman, for continuing to make us the most awarded organization on island by voting us the best of Cayman Islands in 9 medical categories. Your support reminds us why we do what we do, to serve the Cayman community with kindness and excellence. To find out more about our award-winning services, visit hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
On the 6th of December, 1960, at 8:20 a.m., the St. Clair Petrolor vessel from National Bulk Carriers was 950 miles off of Trinidad, carrying 29 Caymanians. The ship was rocked by 4 separate explosions in the space of just 30 seconds, causing various parts of the ship to erupt in fire. The first explosion was in the bow of the ship, the second in the number 4 hatch, the third in the number 11 hatch, with the fourth in the aft tunnel doors. Vigorous attempts were made to extinguish the intense flames, but with no success, and the captain gave the signal to abandon ship, and the crew filled up and lowered the 2 remaining lifeboats into the water. Following a head count, it was discovered that 2 crew members were missing and unfortunately were never seen again. The lifeboats were tied together and a sea anchor was cast out to prevent the boats from drifting too quickly. The St. Clair sank that afternoon, and the men continued to drift at sea for hours until being rescued that night by the English ship named the Mary Ellen Conway with an Italian crew. The men were transported to Brazil, where they were later flown home via Trinidad and Jamaica.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and let's see what things are looking like weather-wise. Current conditions, 84 degrees here in Georgetown. It feels like 93, and winds out of the southeast at about 3.5 knots, and humidity 74%. Today's forecast, fair weather straight through into tonight, and winds light and variable. And they forecast for the seas running at 1 to 3 feet. So that's our weather update there. And we've been talking about minimum wage. We've been talking about gratuity and tips, people not being allowed to sit in jobs where they have to stand for long hours. I got a WhatsApp message here in relation to that one. It says, "Good afternoon, Mr. Charles. Happy New Year to you and all of Radio Cayman staff. I would like to applaud the first and second caller of your show today. They have truly made a huge impact in their contributions on the need to have our laws deeply looked into regarding supermarkets and other businesses that have employees standing on their feet for very, very long hours. For years, I've been sharing my concerns about this very unhealthy issue. I also know personally of persons who have developed horrible varicose veins serious back pains, shoulder pains, etc. These health issues came about due to the employers not allowing their employees to sit down. I am imploring our health MP to look into this and to please make it mandatory that employees in certain jobs be allowed to sit down. And if businesses do not comply, to charge them a violation of a health fee. Here are some examples of very unhealthy effects. Long-term standing as a cashier or store clerk can lead to a variety of physical health issues, primarily musculoskeletal and circulatory disorders due to muscle fatigue and poor blood flow. Musculoskeletal problems, pain and stiffness, chronic pain in the lower back, neck, shoulders, and legs is common due to the continuous muscular effort required to maintain an upright, often static posture. Foot and joint issues. Prolonged standing places significant pressure on the joints, which can lead to sore feet, swelling of the legs and ankles, plantar fasciitis, I think that's how you say it, heel spurs, bunions, and even arthritis in the knees and hips over time. Repetitive stress injuries. Repetitive motions involved in scanning and handling items can lead to arm and wrist injuries, such as tinnitus and carpal tunnel syndrome. Disc degeneration. The invertebral disc, which act as cushions in the spine, are adversely affected by constant standing without movement, potentially leading to nerve problems like pinched nerves or slipped disc. Cardiovascular and circulatory issues. Varicose veins. Blood tends to pool in the legs and feet, which can damage vein walls and valves over time, potentially leading to chronic and painful varicose veins. High blood pressure and heart problems. Studies have found that people who primarily stand on the job are twice as likely to develop heart disease as those who primarily sit, possibly due to increased pressure on the veins and the oxidative stress. Thank you for sharing this very concerning health issue. Have a great evening. Well, that was pretty in-depth there, and detailing some of the consequences of people who are forced to stand for very long hours on the job. And, if this is something that you have to do and you've been at it for a number of years, you can see how that would, decrease your quality of life. It's when you think of someone standing, you might say, well, you're just standing, but, supporting your body in an upright position, especially, as this person said, in a static position, with all the pressure of being on the same places constantly, it's much easier to see that, people can develop problems. And there must be something in the labor law, though, because, employers are charged with, to provide safe conditions for their workers and not let people have to, go through unreasonable stress for the 8-9 hours that they're going to be on the job there. The phone lines are open. If you want to give us a call, we can continue along this vein. Numbers to call, 1-800-534-8255. That's toll free, courtesy of Flow. And 949-8037 is another number, and also 949-6990. And you can reach us on WhatsApp at 925-3261. Well, we have been talking about the minimum wage, which came into effect on January 1st. And, we started off at the top of the show saying that we've seen some increases in the cost of things, especially in fast food places where people would be paid at a minimum wage. And regardless of what increases we see in the cost of living coming in the months ahead, we all know that Cayman is an expensive place. It's already very expensive. And other places, even up north in the U.S., people, saying, cost of living is too hard. So it's already expensive regardless of where it's going to go. And it actually, inflation in Cayman actually slowed in the third quarter of last year. But things is still expensive. Still expensive. No two ways about that. Excuse me. So I thought I'd take a look around, go on the internet, do some research there, and look for information as to how the average person can deal with the cost of living and still feel that you're having a decent life. We all know you have to watch your expenses and everything, but sometimes you feel like, well, cut back at this and that. Well, boy, you might as well not be living, right? But so I was looking for how people can approach this high cost of living and feel like you're living a half decent life at least, and might be able to even save some money without living like a monk. I looked around at different financial advice articles, and people like Dave Ramsey, you might know him, financial coach guru. So I put what I found together here. So just settle in for a moment and remember, I'm talking here about the everyday average salary that most of us would be working hard for. So now there's a myth floating around that if you're not earning six figures, you're destined to live a life of sacrifice. No eating out, no hobbies, basically no fun. Just bills and more bills. But that's not the truth. The truth is that most people don't need more money. They need more strategy, more planning, more intention of what you're trying to achieve, and a little more kindness towards themselves. Let's start with this. You have to see your salary as a tool, not a verdict. It's not a measure of your worth. What your salary is not what you are worth. or your potential. And you have to strive to fulfill your potential. Your salary is simply the fuel that you've got to work with for right now. And the way that you use it determines the quality of the ride. One of the biggest shifts you can make is moving from reactive spending to purposeful spending. When you know where your money's going, you stop feeling like it's slipping through your fingers. And suddenly, you're not depriving yourself. You're choosing. You're choosing what matters, choosing what brings joy, choosing what builds your future. You have to prioritize, budget. Yeah, I know that can be difficult at times, yes. You know, putting that budget together, that's not always the easiest thing when things are already stretched. And here's the secret that financial content people know. You don't need to cut out the things you love necessarily. You just need to prioritize them. If a weekly coffee run makes you feel human again, well, keep it. If a monthly dinner with friends or your loved one fills your soul, well, protect it, enjoy it. Life isn't meant to be lived on mute. But balance that joy with a little structure. Automate your savings so you don't have to think about it. Give yourself a safety net with an emergency fund that can support you for a few months. If something happens, you can't work, whether you're fired or maybe you get injured and just can't work. And you might set aside a small fund so that you can enjoy life without guilt. And give yourself permission to say no to the things that don't matter, so you can say yes to the things that do matter. And let's talk about comparison. Because nothing drains a paycheck faster than trying to keep up with someone else's lifestyle. You know that old saying, keeping up with the Joneses, right? You don't know their story. You don't know their debts, their struggles, or their priorities. They may be driving a new car. Maybe that's all they got. Maybe they don't have anything else beyond that new car that you see them driving. So don't compare yourself. Focus on your lane, your priorities. Build a life that fits you. Not somebody's highlight reel you just scrolled past online, and they're showing off their thing, right? You don't even know if it's real. And at the end of the day, making the most of your salary isn't about restriction. It's about alignment, aligning your money with your values, aligning your habits with your goals, aligning your choices with the life you actually want to live. And when you do that, something beautiful happens. You stop feeling deprived. You start feeling empowered. You start realizing that joy doesn't come from how much you earn. It comes from how intentionally you live. So remember this. You deserve a life that feels good, not just one that looks good. Stay thoughtful, stay hopeful, keep living with purpose, and keep improving your skills. Keep increasing your knowledge so that you can put yourself in a position to negotiate a better salary. No, I know all that may sound a little idealistic. Yeah, we hear it all the time. You got a budget. Sometimes when you budget, you still come up short, right? Yeah, it can be difficult, but you gotta prioritize. Here are some practical things to try to achieve that. What gave you there. Making the most of your salary involves a combination of smart budgeting, strategic savings, and careful investing. The average person can significantly improve their financial health by following some of these key principles that I found. Create a budget and track your spending. And a budget is sort of your financial roadmap. It helps you to understand where your money is going and where you can make a judgment. And a popular thing to do in budgeting is something called the 50-30-20 rule. And it's a simple budgeting method of you allocate 50% of your take-home pay to the things you really need. The rent, the mortgage, utilities, the groceries, the things you need. 30% to wants, like going shopping, dining out, hobbies. And 20% to savings and debt repayment. And removing that debt, getting out of debt is very important. Track everything. And yeah, if you can use Excel and all that or something, you can use a spreadsheet, but you can get apps now, budgeting apps. Go download a budgeting app and it'll help you along in doing the budget. And you got to review this every so often, make sure things stay the same. And again, prioritize saving and debt reduction. You got to put money aside. That is crucial for your future stability and wealth building. You got to build an emergency fund. Aim for at least 3 to 6 months. Yeah, it can take a little while to build that up, but if something ever happens out of the blue and you find yourself not able to work or being laid off, having that emergency fund makes life a lot easier than suddenly there's no monthly income. I mean, I know so many people live from paycheck to paycheck, but trying to give yourself a safety net against unexpected job loss or medical emergencies, a great idea. And you'll be thankful that you did it if you ever have to call on it. And get rid of high interest debt. Credit cards, oh Lord, how many of us have fallen into the trap of credit cards? Credit card debt can quickly erode your salary. The interest rates, those interest rates. So you got to try and pay them off. Pay off the high interest debt first using strategies like debt snowball or, what do they call it, avalanche method. Start with the small stuff, get rid of the small debts and work your way up, getting bigger and trying to tackle the bigger and bigger debts. Automatic savings. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings account. Or I know people that, and you find that a lot of people at the credit union that they don't even see the money. The money is sent directly to the credit union into a savings. You're not tempted to say, oh, well, this month I'm going to use this to do something here. You don't even see the money. It just automatically goes into a savings account. And invest for the future, especially if, you're younger. Just savings alone is not going to make you rich. So invest where your money can work for you. I mean, you can, if you have a light bill, an account with CUC, you can invest in CUC. Cayman Water, right? You can invest with them, and I think their stocks have been doing pretty good lately too. But yeah, there's even ways, even though you're in Cayman here, that you can invest in stocks, invest in what they call an ETF, electronically traded fund, index fund, that tracks like the Standard & Poor's. That's a safe way. That Warren Buffett says, for the average person, don't try and pick individual stocks. Just invest in the 500 companies that are in the Standard & Poor's 500, and don't worry. Sleep good at night. And if you feel you have the power to do it, negotiate your salary. Try and get a higher salary. And shop smart. Check out the prices. Don't just buy something on the spot. Impulse buying can get you in trouble, because you're probably going to pull out that credit card to pay for it. We have a caller there. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Yeah, Charlo, I have to call you back and share something with you, man.
Okay.
I seen on the news one time down Florida news in Miami. One of those world-class restaurants down there. It was this couple that was being served by a black waitress. She's a teenager, she's a college student. And after a couple of days serving them, they were so impressed with this girl, right? And I think they were going there for a week. And every time she served them, her tip was $100. But the day came now, then it's going to be their last day at that restaurant, because they are filmmakers, movie director, and thing. It's a couple, right? But they were so impressed with her that on the last day that she served them, they gave her a small envelope. And in that envelope, it was a check for $50,000 and a little note saying, "This should help you very well in your college journey." Man, she was so happy.
I bet it made her day.
Man, she was so happy, Shadow. But you see, that's what I'm telling you, man. In my couple of trips to Canada and the U.S., that's all I ever found, Shadow, was world-class service, my boy. World-class service. You just have to know. And when you know, and things work out for you. May not be all the time, but things work out for you sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you, man.
Yeah, I mean, she gave excellent service and, impressed those people who just happened to have some good cash, right?
Yeah, man.
But that's what it's all about. I mean, TIPS. TIPS actually stands for, it's an acronym, to ensure proper service or prompt service.
Yes, man. Yeah, and all of what you were talking about, Chalo, enough of that applied to me, and I thank you for bringing that to my attention, man.
Are you talking about how to handle your money?
Yeah, in my life, it took me so long, Charlie, to learn how to spend money.
Yeah, I wish I knew this when I was younger too.
Yeah, but I thank God that I'm still here and I'm in a better place today when it comes to spending the dollar, you know. So what can I say? God is great, man.
Yeah.
Anyway,
go ahead.
Later.
All right.
Yeah, man.
All right. Thanks for the call.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got to take a break, so we'll be right back.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your sister islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter will be taking appointments from January 12th to 15th at his Crew Road Clinic. Appointment slots are limited. Whether you're seeking advanced skincare, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice.
For more information, email Dr. Porter @gmail.com or call 946-9020 to book your appointment today. That is 946-9020.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
So, what's this? We have a WhatsApp message here. Good afternoon. Can I get advice here? On what? Well, that's it depends on what it is, but not really that kind of program. But well, if we can help you, we will. If we can't help you, we'll just say no. We don't know. But I know a lot of the e-bike people. What's going to happen with that? I see a story here came on news service say that only one insurance company says they are prepared to go ahead with this licensing of e-bikes and all the other E's. And the government is continuing to put into effect, the regulations of having to register, be licensed, and insure all these electronic bicycles, e-scooters, e-skateboards. Is that what do you call those little ones? And that also includes the Segways. Those ones that two wheels, but you stand straight up. And people rent those out around here in Cayman for tours and stuff like that. And then you've got those scooters that you can use an app too, that you can rent, right? So all those have to be registered and licensed and insured. And apparently from this story, only one insurance company says they are prepared to do that, and that's Indigo. The others have to put reinsurance in place, and that's not going to happen until next year. So it's kind of incredible, though, that this has come this far, and the whole insurance thing hadn't been put in place, or provision being made, because I guess how the insurance companies work is that they insure you, but somebody else, the reinsurer, is really the ones that are going to be providing money if anything happens, right? And they have to get all that lined up. So I don't know how this got this far without knowing that people would be able to conveniently get insurance from more than one place, because there's no competitive pricing there. If only one place can provide it, they can basically just set their price down, and everybody has to do it, since the government says they will be proceeding with this. Either that or don't ride that bike. But you know what? I think a lot of people have turned to this form of transportation because the public transportation that is offered in Cayman is not what you would call reliable and an efficient way of offering public transport. And I think we're to the place now where something more structured and efficient has to be put in place. I mean, we're not a big place, but we have people that are spread out. We have people coming in here, and a lot of the people that we see on work permit here are not making a huge amount of money, right? So a lot of them that are working some of those very same minimum wage jobs. And if they had a bus service that they could catch to go to work, and, something that they knew that it was going to be run on time all the time, and that it would be available on the weekends also. I mean, please tell me they would rather take a bus for a reasonable fare than putting their lives at risk riding a scooter down the side of the road, to get to work. But for a lot of people, that is their alternative choice of transportation, that they can move around. But it's way overdue that we have a good public transportation system. It can't be that hard to work out. And even if it's a government service or some kind of franchise that is one person, that is one company, and they are required by that franchise to provide service at a certain level, buses that are decent to go in, that you're not going to be jammed up with a whole pile of people into one little minibus. And when you go to work, you can depend on going out to the bus stop, and the bus is going to be there in time. We have a caller. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, I can't help but piping in here, you're talking about public transportation.
Mm-hmm.
And this goes back to about 1976 or 70, probably 77, 78, when we were talking about the same thing.
You've been talking about it forever.
Yeah. And I remember having just a brief conversation with Jim Borden at the time about the problem. And his vision at that time was on the West Bay Road and throughout whatever other development that came after that. You got to remember this in around 1978, 79. He envisioned, and it was the first leg of it would have been from West Bay to Georgetown, an overhead tram service, whatever you want to call it, along the West Bay Road.
Wow, overhead.
Right. Yes. That
like a monorail kind of thing?
Yes. Yeah. You get the clearance on either. Oh, I think he envisioned on what would be the not the seaside of the road, but the land side of the road is what you'd call it. Because back in 77, there was nothing. Well, I shouldn't say nothing, but there was very little infrastructure along the West Bay Road, so it could have been cleared at that time, to put the whatever structures or infrastructure you would need for this overhead rail service along there. Of course, this 2026, and we're still talking about it.
We still got many buses.
Yeah. And at that time, I don't believe the minibus system was really what you could say a sort of semi-permanent situation. It was Bobo and his bus. Well, he had a big bus, sort of school bus type Bobo, and there might have been one or two other sort of what you'd call, I guess all the taxis at that time was public. We'd call it public transportation, but it was not the bus type.
I think there were some converted school buses or something too. Some people used.
Yeah, Bobo. That's all I knew him at. He ran a bus service between West Bay and Georgetown, and in fact, he might have even extended it a little further for the east. But and I think Mr. Tomasino also.
Yeah, that's right.
Had some kind of transport operation going back and forth. Anyway, I just thought I guess.
But we already have these big buses in here for that tour operators have now. So, I mean, it's not, you can't say that the roads can't handle them or anything. But, if you had a bus service that had a few of those running,
I think it would be an improvement. But I think until they get to the core of what's causing this, then you can just be putting Band-Aid on it. So anyway.
Well, you struck my interest there. Now, what do you say? What the core of what that is causing what?
Causing the transportation, whatever you want to call it, problem or transportation concern that we've got that's been existing over the last 50 years, 60 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, it seems like more and more cars are coming in here. If anybody that can afford to get a car, get a car.
That's just one element of the core. Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for the call. Have a good one.
I do too.
Yeah, those cars keep coming, and we keep building more lanes. Got to take a break. Be right back.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
If you or your loved one is facing cancer, only Sylvester will stand firmly by your side at every step, from diagnosis through survivorship, providing you and your family peace of mind and assisting with everything you need before, during, and after your stay with us. Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center is South Florida's only NCI-designated cancer center and specializes in treating the most complex cancer cases. Your first-class cancer care is just a flight away. Learn more at sylvester.org.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive, drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and we do have a caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Yes, Mr. Glidden.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, you need somebody to talk with.
Always.
A
Always.
lot of reading going on there for a while, but the gentleman beat me to it, so I said, well, somebody call him at least. But why I called you is because you mentioned, these are a lot of cars in the island and getting more roads and more lanes.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder who is looking into about somewhere around like 3 new hotels going to be opening up very soon. And the amount of cars that will be purchased for workers to get back and forth to their jobs. And where are they going to park? We got so much cars parking on our roads as it is now. You can imagine when we open up these 3 hotels, how many more thousands of cars going to be on our roads. And like it's no vision, and they keep talking about public bus this and public bus that, and they gotta do things that people can take the bus to go to work and so forth. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it very blunt, because let me tell you something. 95% are buses that run in our streets right now. We can't have construction guys on those buses. Okay. You understand? No disrespect to anyone that ride that bus. But someone that going to go and work in an office or in a hotel from desk, or even in whatever department they may have, you think that they're going to be comfortable driving in a bus?
Not in one of those many buses, no.
With all this cement on them and all that kind of stuff, I was by the grocery store a couple of months ago. And Mr. Glidden, there's a gentleman came in there. He had just got to doing either cement or drywall. And he was covered from head to toe with the dust on him.
Drywall.
And went straight to the deli to get his food. And I'm like, there's hand towels by the door. I wonder if he used one of them. And that day, I didn't pick up anything to eat, because then I know that air conditioner in our store had to blow some of that stuff off of him. And out that store moving up and down, not just by the food, but just entering into that air conditioned building.
Yeah.
Some stuff had to be blown off of that individual, But, what we going to do about our public bus service on this island, or from the way the things looking, it's probably not going to be no more than what is right now, because we got homes, like our families living in homes, and there's 3 and 4 cars in the yard, and everybody going to a different job, a different location, work-wise every morning. And not even to the families can carpool with their families, because then Jack got somewhere to go, Mary got somewhere to go after work, and Harry got somewhere to go. So mom is left now, so she may as well drive her car to work. So all 4 cars out of that yard is on the road. So we will never get carpooling in this island, and I don't think we'll ever get a proper, decent bus service to accommodate people of these islands, especially when they are on a split shift. You know,
well, I think the government would have to do something to get a good bus service, or if you could franchise it out to a company where the terms are laid out of the kind of service that they have to provide. You know, not that they can just set the terms. The company itself just can say when we're going to give bus service, but you're given a franchise by the government.
Yeah, but what that franchise would have to be made up and come in here and say that it's what they want to do for us when it comes to bus service in the island. And then what's going to happen to let's say we have about 100 public buses on the road?
No.
What's going to happen to them?
You mean, well, they can come drive the bus. The big bus.
Driving the bus where they're making money for themselves. They work for themselves, you know. Whatever money
I know.
they make on the road for the week, that's their money.
I know.
They just buy their license. They buy the license every year through public transport, and whatever they make is theirs. So they ain't gonna leave their job that they can work up according to their needs for the day, because some of them come out here with a quote. And once they get their quota, they're off the road.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
they say, well, that's it for me for the day.
Exactly.
And there might still be people out on the road waiting for a bus.
Exactly, and then they're cutting their routes short.
Now you see that they shouldn't be allowed to do that. But
exactly.
if you had a franchise, they would have to, and you know, the service is from 6 o'clock in the morning until 12 o'clock at night. They have to run that service, right?
Now even probably like 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
I was at
1
the
o'clock.
gas station a couple of weeks ago up here in Savannah, so I was waiting to come out, and this bus came down from Bartontown area and gave some people to a bus that was going into Georgetown. He blowed them down to stop, and he stopped there by the gas station. And he let those people off on that bus, and that son of a gun turned around and went back east. And they're not supposed to do that. They're supposed to run their route to the fullest and then go back to the compound. But there's a lot of crookedness going on out here on the road with these buses. They're all buddies, and they're all looking up for each other. That's what I said on your radio some months ago. Who's going to tell public transport what's taking place on those buses? Nobody can tell nobody nothing.
Because the average person doesn't know how it's supposed to be, you know. They just know that they can't get a bus when they want one.
They just can't get one when they want one because the people are working to their leisure.
Yeah.
You know, because it's their bus service, so they work to their leisure. You know.
And it can't work like that.
No, it cannot.
So you say what would happen to them in a free market? Well, then if you have an established bus service with a nice big bus that's air conditioned and, you know, providing on time service on a scheduled time, well, who do you think people are going to start using? You know.
Some people will use it, yes, but then again, But I'm just saying, we got to be careful because, and like I said, we got like 3 hotels going to be opening very soon.
Yeah.
Who knows what else is down at Cayman Bay going to be opening soon. I know of 3 on my list right now. But we're going to have some cars on these roads here within the next 2 years that we're not going to be able to walk nowhere. We're going to be having to leave home earlier. We will not be getting to our appointments on time. We will not be getting to school, the children at school on time, because it's going to be a bumper situation. And there's nowhere in the world that we can make any more lanes or any more roads in certain areas, because the more lanes we get and the more roads we open up, there is 10 more cars every other day on our roads. And the majority drive like a bunch of idiots.
Well, listen, I got a couple of callers on the line. I want to see if I can get one of them in before news time.
You go right ahead, sir. You go right ahead.
All right.
Bye-bye.
You take care.
Good.
Let's take a call here. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Mr. Charles.
Yes, Poet Laureate.
How are you today, sir?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm happy about a lot of things.
Oh, fantastic. You're happy. I like that. I like to know that somebody's happy.
I try to keep it that way, and I try to be in a good mood most of the time. Well, I would say majority of the time. It's always good to be in a good mood. But there's something that I've been looking at for a while, Mr. Charlo. Maybe two different types of motivational speakers here in Cayman. For the two different reasons. I mean, they could be sort of related, but in one case, I would like to say that if we had someone of the caliber of someone like Rihanna, or another type of person who has had great success in business and change, that sort of thing.
A star.
From people who are poor and that can share their stories with Cayman. I think that would be a very, very good thing, Mr. Charlo.
You mean to bring them into Cayman to do a motivational talk?
I think so, and probably, I know that we have some good people here too, because I've seen, for example, a certain young man. I told him before that I don't want to call his name. I don't want to tell him about his business. But he says his business, and he says to me, "You remember when I was poor and all that sort of thing."
Mm-hmm.
And he shows me some of his wealth and stuff like that. When he was. So I said to myself, well, you do it pretty well, and I've seen quite a few Caymanians that did pretty well in business.
Well, maybe he would go and talk to some, students at the high school, give them some inspiration.
Right, that's what I'm saying. No, but I don't want to reveal his identity.
No, but maybe you could talk him into it. But somebody like that, they got to volunteer. But listen, I got to break away because it's 2:00. All right, thanks for the call, though. Yep, it is 2:00, so let's check in with the newsroom.
Information, entertainment, inspiration.
Covering Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, Cayman Brac.
Since 1976 till now.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market.
I'm April Cummings with your headlines. Representatives from all branches of government attend today's Grand Court opening. The ceremonial occasion provides an opportunity for the Chief Justice and other officials to present their annual reports on the judiciary to the public. In international headlines, Iran's judiciary head today signaled there would be fast trials and executions ahead for suspects detained in nationwide protests. This despite warnings from U.S. President Donald Trump that the U.S. may take military action over the killing of peaceful demonstrators. The U.S.-based human rights activist news agency reports the security force crackdown on the demonstrators has killed at least 2,586 people. Fintech giant Bilt announces an overhaul of its credit cards, which notably will include an introductory rate on all card users' interest rates at 10% for 1 year. The promotion comes at a time of heightened political rhetoric around the cost of credit cards, with U.S. President Trump announcing last week that he is seeking a 1-year cap on credit card interest rates of 10%. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. Quick look at the weather. It's 83 degrees here in Georgetown. Feels like 89. Winds out of the southwest at 4 knots. The forecast called for fair weather. Winds light and variable with seas running at 1 to 3 feet. And we do have a couple of callers on the line. So let's take one of those. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Charles.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. You have any specific topics you're on today?
Oh, we've been on all kind of things. Minimum wage, how to save your money, how to spend your money judiciously, and all sorts of stuff.
Okay. Freestyle then.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk about two things that I've brought to my attention today, and I heard a caller when I just started listening to the radio about transportation, public transportation.
Yeah, we talked about that too.
Hey, look here. I could say I use the public transportation a good amount of times for the year. Not all the time, but for a good amount of the year I use is public transportation. And I have two things that I don't sit right with both with the public transportation is how they treat the elderly and how much space, if there's sufficient space in the public buses.
Yeah, you're jammed up.
Pick up. Yeah, because you see when it come into like that 4 or 5 o'clock hour and you ready to go home and you want to go and take a nice shower, you're compelled to take a shower because
when you come out of that bus.
You know what I mean? You got sometimes where the bus driver really refuse to obey the laws on the road and overload their buses, which would mean a lot of discomfort.
Right.
And you know what I don't sit right with them? How much they love to trail each other. They trail each other like as if it was a race track. And it is very inconvenient for people that are a little bit slower in their pace because they need to get to where they're going, but they're not able to walk as fast, specifically the elders or people that have, physical disability, temporary or permanent. And our public bus service is horrible when it comes into handling those people. Catering to them is like as if they don't have any sympathy for anyone that is standing up in the sun. you know, like I've seen it happen multiple times, and it's one in specific recently during the Christmas break. You know, there's a lady that goes church that I go to, that she goes to the church that I goes to as well, and I stand up with her. You know, I just wanted to make sure that she catches her bus.
Yeah.
You know, just in case, because she has a problem with walking, and really and truly, it was sad to see 8 public bus drivers cross her and not even interested in stopping to get another bus to pick her up. Because, I mean, me as a young man just sitting out, standing up with her, trying to flag a bus down for her, they didn't even want to get me to do it because they just know the person was behind me. And, you know, it's sad to know that they have bus drivers of not our nationality as well. You know, they're not Caymanians. And they just sit down and they'll pick favor for those who you know, those who are not disabled or elderly.
Now you see, if you had a government-run public transportation system, or if the government gave a franchise to somebody to provide a service throughout the Cayman Islands, you know, they would be required by the terms of that franchise to address all those things that you just talked about.
But don't they have one? Don't they have...
I think they got a license, but, you know, if they want to drive across someone, I don't know if, you know, unless somebody makes a complaint.
Right.
You know.
Because I understand the bus drivers are independent. They are they're privately owned buses, right?
Mm-hmm.
But how is it that when they have to get registered to be a public bus driver, that they have to go through some department in our government to gain that?
What is it? Is it the
Department of
Public Transport? Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a department. That's where they get their license and all that. And I think they have to take a test and all that.
If you're going to obtain a license to be a public bus driver, wouldn't that be the same requirement as obtaining your driver's license, that you would obey the laws of the road?
Well, yeah, to obey the laws of the road. I don't know whether they can just say, you know, I don't know the details of it. But if they want to just drive past someone that's at a stop there, I don't know if there's a consequence for that.
This is the thing now, you know, that's where we don't have our elderly being protected enough, because if you refuse to give a ride to an elderly person, that should be a crime, especially if you have the space to accommodate them. Take a little time out of your day, because you never know, that person might just be sitting on your conscience when they collapse on the road.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they don't have people that sit down and think about that. That's not humankind. That's just being straight, right, disrespectful. In my opinion, you have a job, and your job is to facilitate a ride for people.
Yeah,
and
that's why you're licensed.
Excluded from that. If elders are excluded from that, I think that they should be refused to gain their license again. And this is why I believe that when a public bus driver, regardless if they're private bus or public bus, they should have the security cameras to secure that this incident had never happened, had never occurred if accused.
Yeah, I mean, we call it a bus service, but there's very little service in the operation, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of just do as they want, as far as I know. I mean, I've heard some bad stories about. One of them that comes to mind is this guy. He's trying to get home to North Side. It's late in the evening, and the bus driver, when they come into Bodden Town, the bus driver turns to him and says, "Listen, I'm not going all the way to North Side because I'm done for the day. I'm stopping. This is where I live in Bodden Town. This is where I'm getting.
Yeah.
I'm stopping right here. This is it.
You're
gonna have to get out."
I can agree with that too. I can confirm that is happening too, because I've been in that situation before, you know. And most of the time that happened to me, they would actually flag down another bus driver, don't charge me, and say, "Yo, go take that bus and then he carry you," or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't complain with that. If a person has to go somewhere and they're not willing to travel the extra mile, if they can flag some other bus driver instead of leaving you stranded, then I don't see any issue with that. But it's the refusing the elderly. That's one thing that I don't sit right with, because myself personally, I wouldn't want that to be done with my grandparents or
Of course not.
grand aunts or uncles. You know, I show that much respect. I think that's a natural thing, a natural instinct that we got as Caymanians. But not everyone sits that same side with us. And also, when it comes into natural instincts, freedom to express natural behavior. These animals, you know, I get it. A lot of people don't like animals, but you know, one thing that we have on this island that we lack is the sympathy for animals, empathy. We don't have any of that anymore. You know, I work amongst animals every single day, and those who can go without it, kudos on them. Those who can go without them, kudos on them. Because really and truly, 6 o'clock in the morning, my rooster's waking me up. Without them, I can't I can't find normalcy in my life.
That's your alarm clock?
Yeah, they're my alarm clock. And trust me, they're on point. They are on point. They're on point. And really and truly, you know, when they come into people that just hate on the chickens and hate on the cats, they don't realize both of those animals serve one of the main biggest purposes of protecting our environment on the island. Look here, we have a littering problem. We have people that love to throw away food. Who do you think going to eat their food when they throw it away? Especially when they don't have no garbage bins. People that just love to throw their stuff away on the ground. You know, the chickens, they handle that with no discrimination. With no discrimination at all. You could spit on the ground, they take that. But
I used to hate when they come and dig up your yard, though.
Yeah, well, you know, give or take, if you round them in an area that they like to be in, they'll always come. So,
and trust me, they can dig. Those chickens, they can dig, boy.
Yeah, they're good for pest control too for farmers. So, you know, that's one. And then the cats. Every single night, I sit down on my porch and I sit and meditate with my animals. You know, I have like about at least 10 cats in my area, and they're not all my cats, but I have 6 of them that I know are mine for sure. But the others, they come around. I feed them. You know what they do? They chill out in the front yard and they look up in the trees and make sure there are no rats.
Yeah.
Yeah, look here. There are no rats. The only thing I got to worry about with them is that if a dog grab them. If a dog grab my cats. But that's it. I got to protect them. But, you know, they have a lack of people that are willing to protect those same animals that I just mentioned.
Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot of people find them as, you know, pests. I mean.
Right. So that's just something that I wanted to bring up because they're very important for our ecosystem to keep it thriving. And without that, we'll have an overpopulation of some very annoying animals that we'll definitely have to bring poison for.
Well, that's one way of looking at it for sure. You know, keep the rodents down.
Mm-hmm.
But let's not got to break away.
Yes, sir.
But thank you for calling.
Thank you. All right.
We got someone hanging in there. I got to take a break. I'll be right back with you.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive, drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and we're coming down the home stretch here. We have a caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I am blessed and highly favored beyond all measures.
All right. You sound like you're in good shape.
Yes, sir. I want to give my 2 cents about the bus system.
Okay.
I agree with all the others that keep as far as said that the bus system is extremely poor. It really is. You have people in the Eastern District gotten reports that they dump them out on the road. It's only one person or two person in there, and they turn back. You have every time ships are in, we find the bus drivers park off by public beach, waiting on tourists to come off the ship instead of running their route on the West Bay Road. I just minute past public beach, and there was one park off there looking tourists come off of the ship to take back to town. Why don't they continue their route? I have no idea, and I did pass it on to minister, but I'm not seeing no improvement on this. Why is it that bus drivers are allowed to park off at public beach waiting on tourists when you got people on West Bay Road looking for and waiting for a taxi or I'm waiting on a bus to get to town?
And they're supposed to serve the route that they're assigned.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I agree with them to bring in a new bus system here.
It's badly needed, long overdue.
When that happens.
Yeah, if we had a proper public transportation system, a lot of our road problems, I think, would improve.
Definitely. But we have nobody holding nobody accountable for what's happening. It's like we don't have nobody that cares. So, of course, people are going to pour in cars. Of course, they're going to import cars. Because then they cannot rely on the bus system.
And electric bikes.
And electric bikes that are not safe.
Right, exactly.
There's no protection on the road with those bikes.
Yeah, something has to be done about that. I mean, we need a much better bus service, public transportation in general.
You take a short down by public beach from around 1 o'clock onwards. That people have to make their way back to the ship. The buses are parked off down there by the public beach road exit. That way they by the 2s and 3s they park off down there instead of doing their route. And as I said, you can't get nobody to do anything about it. You report on it, it goes on deaf ears.
Have you ever made reports to like the public transport unit?
Tons of times. Or when I find public bus on tour with tourists. On tour. And that has been reported to public transport. Oh my gosh, the amount of reports that gone into public transport regarding public bus and what the rules they're breaking. And to top it off, people are scared to stop. A lot of people are scared to be driving with them because they're reckless drivers. They drive like how they drive back home, and that's scary.
Yeah. There's some of them are scary, even if you're not on the bus. if you're just driving on the road with them.
All right, my darling. Thanks.
All right. Thank you for the call. And let's take another call here. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Charlo, good afternoon again.
Yeah.
There's something that bothered me for quite a few years. I couldn't believe it either. The way that I saw this lady being treated, really. I saw her out by the hospital. She was on crutches, and the situation was so terrible that I don't want to say any more than she was on crutches.
So was she waiting on the bus?
trying to get a ride. Apparently looking like she's trying to get a ride from people to go home. And Mr. Charlo, I saw the cars passing her. And she's an elderly lady too. And I stood up there and said, you know something, let me stand up and try to get a ride for the lady. Mr. Charlo, I look at the people in the cars and I say, my goodness, I can't believe it. So you know, so many people passing her, you know, they wouldn't stop. So I went over by the hospital, and there was a good old young man that works. He works for the HSA, and not specifically trying to give him a good name, but they have done some good things too. And I called the young man because I know his father and stuff like that, and you know. But it really disturbed me, Mr. Charlo. It's terrible to see something like that.
Okay, well,
and
thank you for being a good Samaritan.
But anyway, Mr. Charlo, I called the young man, and he came off his job. He got a really good heart, you know, Mr. Charlo. Very good young man. Got a good heart, and he left his job, and he drove over there and picked her up and took her home.
Great.
But Mr. Charles, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to say anymore, but she was on crutches, and all I got to say is the situation is worse. Then I don't want to say how bad the situation really was.
Yeah.
But people can't be so heartless like that. Yeah. And I mean,
well, thank God there are people like you that are good Samaritans, and the young man that gave her a ride.
The young man was he's the real hero, you know. Young man is a real hero in the situation.
I need to get two more callers in here before we get to 2:30. But thank you.
Okay.
Continue to be a good Samaritan.
Okay.
Another caller. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cello. Good afternoon to everybody.
Yes. Is that our man in the brack?
Yes, sir. The man in the brack. Right, Raymond Scott. Okay.
I hear you're getting a cruise ship tomorrow.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm calling about, to give an update on that. Star Clipper. It is a large sailing cruise ship.
Whoa,
four-masted
that's
schooner,
nice.
365 feet long. And that's due to arrive tomorrow morning, and all preparations are being made for the stalls and everything with the souvenirs and various.
Is she going to be able to dock up there?
They'll be on display by the cemetery park right next door to Scott's Dock. And the weather is very moderate. Yesterday was a bit choppy, day before, but today is good weather. It keeps up like this, so have a nice day tomorrow, which I hope so, because this time of the year is lots of unsettled weather from the cold front.
Mm-hmm. So big day in the brack tomorrow.
Passengers, the number of passengers, but probably between 100 and 200, something like that.
But that'll be nice, a sailing cruiser.
Yes, correct. They have several of them now, and the world is actually getting into building more of these. We had the biggest one in the world came here. It was I think 3 years ago, that was the Wind Star. That was like 600 feet long. So we have the record of having the biggest sailing cruise ship in the world came here, and came to Grand Cayman a few times as well.
So does that ship dock, or they anchor off?
No way. No, we don't have any facility here for that. The creek dock is the deepest draft, is about 15 or 18 feet, but that's not an area for cruise passengers to come west. In Scott's Dock, that's in the hearts of the busy place, the West in the shopping center, and everything are within jewelry stores, and everything are within that area. So that's Scott's Dock is a chosen area for cruise ship passengers to come in on the tenders and then the taxis and takes them around. And a lot of them go on the beach, stay right there on the sandy beach, and some of them walks along the beach and take tours throughout the island.
Well, good that the brack is getting some tourism from the cruises. I know they got stay-over visitors, but you get some cruise visitors there. Raymond, thank you for that report. I got one more caller to get in here
Yes,
before.
one thing quick.
Real quick.
Announce about, hello?
Yeah, real quick.
Yes. Okay, the biggest container dock cranes in the world is southeast of the Cayman Islands, now going to pass south of Grand Cayman tomorrow, being transported on almost a 2-month journey from China, going to Houston, Texas, to make that port to accommodate ships that carry 20 and 22,000 containers. The cranes are...
All right, but I'm going to have to break it on you, though, because I got one more caller, okay? Thanks for that, Raymond. Let's get this last caller in here. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Yeah, last minute hour again.
The man with the last word. Paul, I told you he was going to be on.
Yeah, just quickly. Some of your last callers talking about this thing with the transportation and what have you from one thing to the other thing. Charlo, it's quite simple. This is a reflection of the authorities, and I am sure that some of them are listening. They see everything that's happening, and they turn a blind eye to it. These are the people that we give positions, we give authority. Nothing is happening. What is being introduced to the Cayman Islands now is a new way of life. What is called nobody cares. That's the answer, my friend. Nobody cares. It's plain to see. You talk about the buses. The buses don't stop at any bus stop. They stop around the corners. You can't go around the corner because they're parked off trying to pick up somebody.
Yeah.
Well, what's really going on, my friend? You know, who do you talk to? Huh? Oh, my God. Anyway, listen. That's my little piece for today. We see you tomorrow. Have a good evening, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for your input. Yeah, I mean, something has to be done about the public transport, because just from the calls that we took today, I mean, you know, it's not a service. It's like a free-for-all from everything that I've heard. And, you know, if we could just get an organized, well-run, efficient, you know, bus service that people can, you know they have to be to work by 7, so, you know, they can catch a bus at 6:30 or 6 o'clock, and it's going to be there, you know, at a posted bus stop, not just anywhere along the road, but, you know, you have bus stops at regular intervals that you know the bus is going to come there at a certain time. You can go there, catch that bus, and get where you need to go on time. That's what we need. It's 2:30, and that means I got to say goodbye. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for calling. I'm Charles Glidden. One love.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.